My girlfriend Clara and her first boyfriend Ben were in a car accident with me. I ended up losing my sight, and Ben had some broken bones. While I was in the hospital, just trying to process everything, I happened to overhear Clara talking on the phone to her sister. "Hey sis," she said, "can you keep an eye on Mark for me? Pretend to be me. Our voices are really similar, so he won't know. I'm taking Ben overseas for surgery. He really needs me right now." Then Ben, her first love, asked, "Are you okay leaving your boyfriend with your sister?" Clara laughed. "My sister and he are both really traditional. They won't do anything they shouldn't." I just stayed hidden in the corner, feeling my lips tremble and my heart ache. How did Clara even know I had feelings for her sister? Later, Clara came back, and I think she was planning to propose to me. But she found me with her sister, Sarah, who was already 3 months pregnant. I just looked at Clara with a sort of knowing smile and said, "Your sister's already showing, and you're still hung up on him." Then, really late one night, around 2 in the morning, I got a call from Clara. It was really loud on her end, and a friend of hers sounded really worried. "Clara's gotten into a fight at a bar," the friend said urgently. "You need to come over quickly." Then they hung up. I didn't really see how I could help, but I got up, threw on a jacket, and took a taxi. I looked through my messages to find the number for the private room she mentioned. When I opened the door, the smell of smoke and alcohol hit me. When they saw me, the music stopped. Clara was sitting in the middle of a group of people. "Wow, he actually came just from a call," someone said. "Look at him in his pajamas. He must be so devoted to Clara." It was Ben, sipping his wine and teasing Clara. "Clara, you're too much. You don't care about your husband's feelings at all. You actually managed to trick him into coming here." Ignoring all the laughter, I just kept my eyes on Clara, making sure she wasn't hurt. I sighed in relief, just quietly saying, "You're okay. That's all that matters." At my words, everyone started laughing again. "Wow, what a sucker!" someone exclaimed. "Are guys really this dumb these days? Clara, does your boyfriend have a brother? Hook me up." I was holding some hangover soup I'd brought. I just walked past them and gently put it on the table in front of Clara. "Enjoy," I said. "I won't bother you anymore." As I was about to leave, Clara suddenly pulled me down to sit next to her on the sofa. She leaned in close, and I could smell the alcohol on her breath. I leaned back a little, frowning. She looked into my eyes with a smile and asked, "Are you mad?" I was taken aback and just shook my head no. They were right. I was Clara's pushover. I had been for 6 whole years, from middle school all the way through high school. I was always there for her whenever she needed anything. Every morning I brought her breakfast and milk tea. I even delivered water to her latest boyfriend. My life from middle school to high school was all about studying and Clara. I thought Clara would go abroad after high school, and I'd finally get some peace. But when I went to college, who knew she'd end up at the same one? And then she confessed her feelings. Well, it wasn't exactly a confession. She said, "Mark, since you've been chasing me for so long, let's date now that we've graduated high school." Her friends all cheered her on. "Wow, the sucker finally gets it all. Mark, you're amazing. Clara's never confessed first before." Ben stood off to the side, giving me a look I couldn't quite understand. Clara's decision to be with me really shocked me. I didn't know what to say. I told her I needed to think about it and rushed home. Maybe I'd been too obvious, making her think I liked her. When I got home, my dad was thrilled, announcing his promotion at work. Mom then hinted in my room that Clara's dad wanted me to keep an eye on Clara, so they increased my allowance by a lot. When Clara asked for my answer, I agreed. I figured I'd benefit. Clara always had a lot of boyfriends in high school, but none of them lasted more than a month. I expected the same. Plus, our family's situation had improved thanks to her. I kept waiting to be dumped, but surprisingly 2 years went by. Later, I found out she confessed out of spite for Ben. She didn't really have feelings for me. At least that's how I saw it. She never broke up with me, maybe because I was obedient and liked the breakfasts I made for her. Her relationship with Ben was always complicated. They'd known each other forever, bickering since they were kids, but they always fought. She'd upset Ben until he had stomach aches and then send me to his dorm with medicine. When they made up, she'd have me bring his favorite cake to school. Their relationship was just an endless cycle, and I felt like I was just a part of their game. Ben would sometimes ask Clara, "If Mark and I fell into the water, who would you save?" Hugging my shoulders, she'd casually say, "Of course, my boyfriend. Why would I save you? You wouldn't save me, you're done for." Ben would playfully chase her, while I just silently watched Clara's side profile, squeezing her hand. She'd tease, "What touched?" I kept quiet, knowing Clara wouldn't choose me. My intuition was confirmed soon enough. One stormy day, Ben was driving us to a summer internship. The rain was pouring, and the wipers were going crazy. Suddenly, a car sped towards us at an intersection. Ben's car was hit really hard. My head slammed into the window and my ears rang. Pain shot through me, and everything went blurry, black and white. Panic seized me as I vaguely saw Clara banging on the window, trying to open the door. "Clara," I called out faintly. But Clara went right past me, helping Ben out. She didn't even look at me. I was struggling to stay conscious, barely able to raise my hand to grab her clothes. She finally noticed me and said, "Mark, the ambulance is on its way. Hang in there a little longer. My car can only fit 2 people and he's hurt worse than you." After saying that, she supported Ben and left, leaving me alone in the car. I suddenly felt a huge wave of panic as the light faded from my sight. Right before I passed out, I wanted to yell at Clara's retreating figure, "With Ben, I could have fit in the trunk." I woke up, or maybe I didn't. The air smelled like disinfectant, but I couldn't see anything. It was completely dark. Why isn't anyone here? My mind raced as I stumbled around blindly, trying to find a way out. There seemed to be a wall in front of me, but I couldn't feel anything. Just when I thought there was nothing there, I tripped over something. Finally, making it out the door, I heard Clara's voice. I clung to the wall, trying to get closer to the sound. "Ben just has a fracture. Why are you acting just like Mark?" Ben choked up and shouted, "With such a big scar on my face and a broken leg, who's gonna marry me?" "You marry me then," I heard Clara say often. "It's no big deal. I'll marry you. I'll go to the States with you for surgery, and whether it's your leg or face, I promise it'll all be back to normal." Ben asked, "What about your boyfriend, Mark?" I heard Clara casually reply, "Call my sister and have her take care of him." The tips of my fingers turned white as I clenched the wall tightly. Clara dialed her sister Sarah's number. "Sis, can you pretend to be me and look after Mark? He's blind now, and our voices are the same, so he won't know. I have to take Ben abroad for his surgery. You know how it's been? Ben's depended on me since we were kids." My breathing got faster. Since Clara had the call on speaker, my hearing had become really sharp. On the other end of the line, it sounded like a meeting was happening. After a long pause, a voice that sounded a lot like Clara's, but deeper, came through. She said, "Okay, but don't regret it." Hearing the confirmation, Clara chuckled. "Thanks, sis." I swayed, gripping the wall hard, tears streaming down my face. How did Clara know I'd always liked her sister? And now there was this golden opportunity. Could this be my reward after years of putting up with Clara's teasing? My heart leaped with excitement as I carefully felt my way back to the hospital bed, lying down to wait for Sarah to come get me. In Ben's hospital room, he asked Clara, "You're just gonna leave your boyfriend with your sister like that?" Clara laughed. "Both my sis and him are really traditional people. They wouldn't do anything out of line. I know their characters well." Ben looked at her. "Seems like you don't really like Mark. What if Mark discovers it's your sister? Let's see if you'd still be smiling then." "Who said I don't like Mark?" I just have to be with you for the surgery first. When I'm back, I'll make it up to Mark. He's so mild, I can smooth things over easily." Ben wrapped himself in the blanket, turning away from her. "I'll see when you mess this up." I remembered meeting Sarah for the first time back in junior year at her big house on Hillside. Clara had a pool party there. I wasn't really part of their social circle, but Clara invited me anyway. I tried to find an excuse not to go, but Clara just dragged me into the car. Thinking the house wouldn't miss one more person, I found a corner to do my homework. After finishing, the party still hadn't ended. I found a quiet spot and fell asleep instead. By the time I woke up, it was midnight. Everyone else had left, and Clara had once again forgotten about me. Resigned to my fate, I sat with my backpack at the entrance of the house, thinking about booking a ride home on my phone. But then it started to drizzle. I huddled, wrapping my arms around myself. The location was too remote. Nobody accepted the ride request. Clara's phone was unreachable. As I wondered what to do next, someone approached with an umbrella. I looked up as they came closer. The person tilted the umbrella towards me, and I raised my head. This person was a little taller than Clara, with a similar face, enough to guess she was Clara's sister, Sarah. "Mark," the person spoke, her voice melodious. I nodded, trying to stand up, but my legs were numb from crouching for so long. Sarah, patient and graceful, extended her hand. She was the complete opposite of Clara. Every movement was like a perfect lady. I took her hand, pulling myself up. Sarah let me stay the night at the house. The next day she drove me to school. Since that day, I often dreamed of her. I aimed to get into a good college, hoping for another chance to meet her under better circumstances. But life took another turn, and I ended up with Clara in college. Meetings with Sarah increased, though I didn't dare look at her as freely as I did during our first encounter. In my hospital room, the doctor and Sarah discussed the head injury that affected my eye nerve. Fortunately, it wasn't severe, and healing was possible. I wanted to recover at home, hating the antiseptic smell and the depressing hospital environment. "Your parents are on a business trip taking your brother along. No one's home to care for you. Stay at my place. Let me take care of you, Mark." Her voice was calm, yet gentle, with a soothing quality. I paused, then nodded slowly. Clara would never call me Mark. My palms were sweating, and I could even smell the subtle, woody fragrance of Sarah's perfume. She was likely dressed impeccably, in a tailored dress and a custom scarf, just like the first time we met. She nodded and smiled at me, so composed. I almost called her Sarah by accident, but inside, my emotions were a whirlwind. Sarah held my hand, guiding me out of the hospital, carefully leading me to the car. Once I got in, I realized I might have a bit of car-related anxiety now. Suddenly, the car made a sharp turn, and I couldn't steady myself, falling onto Sarah. I was anxious, not knowing what was happening, my heart racing, my hands gripping her waist. Sarah stopped me with a gentle pat on my back. "Don't worry, it's just a turn," she said. "John, slow down," she added. Her scent was clean and comforting, unlike Clara's smoky and boozy smell. Since Sarah agreed to take care of me, and Clara is my girlfriend now, I secretly thought, let's just have this secret love affair with Sarah. My phone buzzed, breaking the moment. I handed it to Sarah to check. "I can't see. Not even sure how to use it." "It's your mom calling," Sarah said, answering for me. Happy music was playing on the other end. They were at Disney with my brother, it seemed. "Mark, how's it going with Clara today? Can you intern at her company this summer?" Mom asked. "Mom, I was in a car accident today, and I'm temporarily blind. Probably can't intern this summer." My voice cracked as I spoke. "What about Clara? Was she in the accident too? Is she okay?" Mom was worried. "She's fine," I replied after a pause. "Oh, good. Make sure to nurture your relationship with Clara, okay? I didn't finish listening. Sarah took the phone. You didn't hear him? Your son was in an accident, yet you're more concerned about me? Sarah's voice was calm but sharp. Oh, Mark got hurt? Are you okay, Mark? Mom sounded embarrassed. I was about to answer, but Sarah cut in. How fake, she said, and hung up. Sarah looked at me. Does it bother you that I talked to your mom that way? I shook my head. Sarah was standing up for me, and I'd gotten used to being ignored by my parents. A warm hand touched my head, and she gently ruffled my hair. It's okay. I'll be here for you. My heart fluttered. I felt joy and a little bit of sadness. Was this something Clara asked her to do? Sarah then set my phone to blind mode, teaching me how to use it. At Sarah's place, she helped me get familiar with the room's layout and where the bathroom supplies were. I bumped into the corner of a table, but it didn't hurt. I touched it. It was soft with foam padding. All the furniture was padded, and the bathroom had anti-slip mats. Sarah is so thoughtful, or maybe it's her capable staff. I was happy living here. With summer break being 2 months long, hopefully my eyes would heal. But I dreaded another thought. When my eyes recover, I'll have no excuse to stay here. Sarah holds my hand during meals, carefully serves me, and says goodnight before I go to sleep. I savor the warmth of her hand holding mine and her comforting scent when she's close by. A sudden thunderclap startled me in the living room, causing me to drop a glass. It shattered on the floor. Sarah quickly came over. You okay? She hurried to me. Flustered, I crouched down, sweeping the air aimlessly, wanting to clean up the mess. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Sarah caught my hand before I could touch the broken pieces. No need to be sorry, it's just a glass. Don't pick up the shards, you'll get hurt. I blindly looked towards her, feeling a bit scared. I don't want to trouble you. How could you be trouble? Sarah said, kneeling down to check my ankle for any glass cuts. Another rumble of thunder. I shivered uncontrollably. It wasn't that I was afraid of thunder, just easily startled by loud noises. The rain pitter-pattered, accompanied by distant rumbles. Scared of thunder? She noticed my shivers. I clenched my fists, gathering courage. Since you're my girlfriend, I began, can you sleep with me tonight? Instant regret washed over me. I almost cried. Sarah's just being kind, yet I'm asking for more. I'm so shameless. Why would someone as proper as Sarah agree? Okay, no worries. I'll stay with you. I was stunned. She agreed. My eyes welled up with tears of shame, but she led me to bed. Sleep now. I'm here. I sleep well, especially with someone I like. Sarah wasn't asleep yet, browsed work schedules on her iPad when an Instagram message popped up. It was an audio message from Clara. She put on her headphones. Sis, I've arrived in the U.S. Weather reports say thunderstorms tonight in the city. Mark fears storms. Now that he's temporarily blind, he'll be even more scared. Sarah looked at my peaceful sleeping face on her chest. No worries. He's sleeping pretty soundly. Clara kept chatting away with her voice messages. Sis, you wouldn't believe it. This was the first time I found out someone could be afraid of thunder. That time during night study, a thunderclap happened, and Mark jumped, shaking like a scared rabbit. Sis, seriously, how can someone be so timid? Sarah frowned a bit, typing away. You know he's timid, yet you still left him behind. The voice on the other end got quieter. But I can't just leave Ben, you know. Sis, can you take a picture of Mark for me, please? It's been a day or two and I kind of miss him already. Sarah raised an eyebrow. Are you sure? Yeah, Mark sleeps so deeply he won't notice. Mark likes me so much he'll definitely miss me like mad after a few days apart. Good thing I asked you to stay with him, sis. If it's inconvenient for you, you can take the picture during the day. Since you insist, I'll send it to you later. Clara, on the other side of the call, saw the picture her sister sent. She glanced up at Ben, who was doing his leg exercises, quietly left the room, and opened the picture on her phone. The photo only showed the side of a boy's face, with messy bangs on his forehead, looking calm and gentle in his sleep. So cute, Clara murmured, holding the photo and zooming in. She was puzzled. Why doesn't Mark's pillow match? His bedding is dark-colored. Wow, real lovebirds, huh? Followed me abroad for surgery and still can't get over your little lover? Ben leaned against the door, mocking. Clara flashed him the picture. Look, Mark has lost weight without me around, she concluded. Guess he really loves me. Ben chuckled as he looked at the phone for a while. Congrats, your boyfriend's about to snag himself a wife. See that fabric he's lying on? That's clearly a woman's nightgown. Clara snatched back the phone, fuming. No way! Like I don't know Mark? He's even too shy to let me hold his hand. Besides, my sis took the photo. Everyone knows she's all aloof. Mark's staying with my sis, so maybe he dug up one of my nightgowns. Yearning. She took a long look at the photo again, gently touching the boy's side profile with her fingers. Ben felt complicated, and to mask his low spirits, he teased Clara once more. Hope you keep up the self-love. It was no surprise to Sarah that Clara didn't notice her sleepwear in the photo. Sarah didn't want to reveal too much too soon, didn't want Mark to see her darker side. She was content just being by his side, whatever the form. In my sleep, I vaguely heard Clara's voice. Is she asking for that hangover soup delivery again? Oh, right. She's abroad with Ben. She won't bother me now. I felt relieved. Suddenly, my parents' words echoed in my head. Mark, Clara's dad really likes you. Even if not for our family, you should work hard to make Clara like you for your sister's sake. Understand? In life, you have to be accommodating, be a bit savvy. Mom and Dad spent so much money on your fancy education. Building connections comes from school, especially with Clara. Her one word could change everything for us. So whatever you need to do, please her as much as possible. Our family depends on you. My brow furrowed deeper, a heavy weight on my chest. Someone pulled me into a warm embrace, smoothing my frown. So warm, I thought. All right, I'm at Sarah's place. No parents, no Clara here. I don't have to please anyone. I can be myself. Though it's temporary, I'll escape as long as I can. I felt like my eyesight was slowly returning, catching glimpses of light. Sarah even installed a small elevator at home for me, making it easy to get around. But after the accident that blinded me, I'd developed separation anxiety. When Sarah leaves for work, the solitude grips me, making me feel cut off from the world. I dread never seeing Sarah again, and I fear Clara's return, afraid our relationship will go back to being just acquaintances. Again, at the sound of a car engine, I make my way to the door with my cane, waiting for Sarah. Do you have a headache? Sarah asked. My assistant said you barely ate anything today. She guided me to the living room, and I hesitated before asking if I could go with her the next day. She agreed. The next day, Sarah took me to her office. She gave me a pair of sunglasses to block out the light. Her assistant was super kind, downloading an audiobook app for me and setting up snacks and a fruit platter on the table. But when the assistant tried handing me earphones, Sarah stopped her. Play the sound out loud, no earphones. His concussion hasn't fully healed yet. Okay, Sarah, the assistant obliged, adjusting the volume. And there I was, listening to books while Sarah worked. Just as I got to an exciting part, a call came through. I fumbled to answer, and it was our class representative, Alex. Hey, I texted you and got no reply. Are you free now? Could you make a new student entry report for me? You're the best. I'll bring you my family specialty once school starts. As I tried to find the words to respond, someone took the phone and answered for me. Sorry, we're handling our business here, so he can't help you. Sarah ended the call for me. You need to learn to say no. It's not shameful to turn people down. Your life isn't about pleasing everyone. It's about treating yourself right. You should express dissatisfaction and say no to unreasonable requests. Okay. I froze. It was the first time anyone had talked to me like this. I'd always struggled to say no, even if what they did made me uncomfortable. I kept thinking if I put up with it long enough, eventually they'd see my worth and repay me. But reality often told me otherwise. They're just gonna keep pushing and asking for more, but I don't know how to say no anymore. I pump myself up secretly, thinking next time I'll definitely learn to say no. It's the weekend, and Sarah's relaxing at home with me. I just woke up from a nap. My vision was blurry, kind of like cataracts. Felt like there was a white mist over my eyes. I happily ran downstairs to find Sarah. I saw her back in the garden, so I rushed over and hugged her from behind. "Sarah!" I called out, but then I froze. The scent wasn't right. It wasn't Sarah. The person grabbed my hand. "Mark, you can see?" I was stunned, my blood running cold. It was Clara. Why was she back so soon? Aren't she and Ben living well abroad? Why come looking for me again? I don't want them disrupting my hard-earned peace. "Mark, are you still sick? Why aren't you saying anything?" What could I say? Ask her to go back to Ben and tell her I want to continue living like this with her sister? But I'm too weak. Sarah was just looking after me for Clara. I shouldn't ask for too much. Ben still wasn't done with rehab, so Clara headed back there in the evening. I lay in bed, relieved, hoping she spends a few more days with Ben. That night, I took my meds and went to bed early. Suddenly, I felt a hand touch my face, the scent I don't like. Instinctively, I frowned and pulled away. The person's fingers hesitated before leaving. In my half-asleep state, the bed dipped slightly. I felt a familiar sense of clean, slightly bitter wood. A woman held me close, breathing deeply to calm down. Her voice slightly choked. Something warm trickled down my neck. In my daze, I thought I heard Sarah in my dreams. "Mark, don't leave me." Could the Sarah in my dream cry and be afraid of losing me too? Wait, maybe it wasn't a dream. I turned, pressing my forehead to hers, touching her face and finding it damp. "Sarah, why are you crying?" "Oops, called the wrong name and got caught." My heart raced like a kid who got caught lying. "Mark, you always knew I was Sarah." All I could do was nod awkwardly. I felt uneasy, a heavy feeling in my chest, knowing she was Clara's sister from the beginning, and I'd still treated her like my girlfriend, doing intimate things behind Clara's back. I'm disappointed in myself. What would Sarah think of me? Suddenly, soft, moist lips touched mine. Gentle, lingering kisses landed. My eyes widened, my breathing quickened. It was like I lost all senses, only feeling the touch on my lips. Wow, so I wasn't imagining it. What does this mean? Could Sarah like me too? My mind was spinning. No way, I'm just so ordinary. But then I heard her say, "Mark, I've liked you for a long time." That hit me like a truck. Not a dream when getting confessed to. My first instinct was to escape. My palms were sweaty, nervous, unsure how to respond. What should I say? Sarah laughed softly. "Just say you like me too." I froze. Right, I did like her. What was I afraid of? What was I avoiding? Time to be brave. I pulled Sarah in, hugging her tight. "I like you too." My ears felt hot. The next day I sent Clara a breakup text, telling her to be with Ben. "We're done." I didn't know if breaking up first would hurt Clara's pride. No one dared to break up with her before, but if I didn't, who knows when she'd do it. I'm done playing this game with Clara and Ben. After sending the text, I did something I'd wanted to do for a long time. Block Clara. Doing that felt amazing. No more late-night calls from her. After all that, I called my parents to tell them we broke up. They're always asking about Clara and me. Dad was joking with my sister, then turned serious when he heard my news. "Did you agree to it?" he went on. "Mark, don't agree to break up. You must hold on to Clara. Don't you know how much people envy you? Marrying her would be—" I interrupted. "I broke up with her. I knew Dad would freak out, call me ungrateful and inconsiderate, but I needed to say it. I've grown up. I don't like Clara. Why should I listen to you and please her? I'm unhappy with her. I'll make my own choices from now on." After venting, my hands shook as I hung up. Taking a deep breath felt amazing, to finally speak my mind. The old me was so suppressed. Sarah was right. I should have learned to say no sooner. Sometime later, Dad texted me. He was furious. "Mark, if you don't reconcile with Clara, don't come home." Growing up, my only worth was being connected to Clara. I guess these days, whenever Sarah is free, she takes me for acupuncture. My sight is improving daily, but I still can't handle bright lights yet. At night, Sarah and I go for walks. We hold hands, wandering without purpose, chatting idly. Even random stones become conversation starters. Silence isn't awkward, it just syncs our heartbeats. In my view, walking with someone you love is intimate and sweet. Doing mundane things with them brings immense joy. When the moment felt right, under the streetlights, I leaned down to kiss her. Sarah hugged me with a smile. Suddenly, she stopped for a moment. "Sarah, what's up?" I asked, confused. "Nothing. The wind's picking up tonight. Let's head home." Not far away, Clara clenched her fists until they made a cracking sound. "Anna?" Mark's never called her that, she thought, suddenly realizing. It was Sarah. Mark was calling her sister that day, not her. "Sis, do you like Mark?" she asked through gritted teeth. It was a statement, not a question. "Didn't you realize earlier?" her sister responded. "Sis, I trusted you. How could you take my boyfriend?" Clara's eyes were blazing with anger. "That photo you sent me was Mark in your bed." "No, I was in his," Sarah corrected her. Clara lost it. "You knew he's my boyfriend, your own sister's boyfriend." Sarah let out a little snort, then shot back. "And what about you? You knew your boyfriend was injured and blind, yet you left to be with your first love abroad? Did you ever think of him as your boyfriend?" Clara deflated. "Sis, I've never fought with you about anything our whole lives. I can give up everything. Just please give Mark back to me." Sarah chuckled a bit. "Clara, have you ever respected Mark? Do you see him as a person, or something you can just toss away and take back whenever you want?" She tapped the table with her fingers. "Besides, what could you ever compete with me for? Whether it's the company or Mark, it's all about skill." Clara angrily knocked the items off Sarah's desk. "Mark likes me. He'll come back to me when I'm back." "You sound pretty confident. You think someone can come back to you unconditionally after being abandoned again and again?" Compared to the embarrassed Clara, Sarah was calm and composed. "Sis, I trusted you," Clara repeated. "Sarah," I said, hearing a commotion in Sarah's study. I opened the door and saw Clara about to hit her. I knew Clara wouldn't win in a fight against Sarah, but I still stepped in to protect her. I glared at Clara. It's one thing to cause trouble outside, but hitting her sister? "Mark, listen," Clara pleaded. "I didn't mean to deceive you. If I had known sooner that my sister liked you, I'd never have let her care for you. Instead, I let you down. But I'm back now. I know I messed up. I can ignore the breakup texts you sent me. Mark, can we start over?" I was puzzled. I thought once I sent those breakup texts, it was over with. Clara, she's so proud. I never thought she'd come back for me. "I never liked you. Why are you upset? You didn't like me either, did you?" Clara staggered a bit. "No, it's not like that. I do like you. Being away made me realize it even more. I even bought a ring." She hurriedly pulled it out. "If you're willing, let's get engaged. I'm serious this time." "I'm not," I said, pulling Sarah into my arms. "Your sister's pregnant. Haven't you moved on?" I told Clara. "I've always liked your sister, not you. We're already broken up. You should figure out your own feelings and make things work with Ben." Clara persisted. "I figured out my feelings. I like you, not Ben. Are you just saying that because you're jealous? I promise to keep my distance from Ben. Mark, please give me another chance." But I just looked at her calmly and shook my head. It was the first time I'd seen Clara look so heartbroken. Eventually, Sarah had someone escort Clara out. After I broke up with Clara, she was down for a few days, probably because she'd lost face. I kept getting calls to pick her up from bars after she got drunk. At first, I'd explain I wasn't her boyfriend anymore, but eventually I just blocked unknown numbers. But she moved on quickly because she's always been a flirt. Soon enough, she had someone new by her side, flaunting it publicly. "Mark, I'm not hung up on you," she said, hugging her new boyfriend. I let out a huge sigh of relief, maybe too obvious, because I saw a flicker of sadness in her eyes. Clara let go of the guy and walked toward me, eyes red. She tugged my hand. "Mark, do you even have a heart? How can you just stop liking someone? I know leaving you with my sister was wrong, but I apologized. What more do you want? I'm sure you're only saying she's pregnant to spite me. I never meant for us to break up. I like you. He's just an actor I found. Why won't you just throw me a bone, Mark?" A crowd gathered, watching us like a real drama unfolding. "Oh, Clara, young rich girl, finally meets her match," they whispered. Taking it all in, I pulled my hand back, looking straight into Clara's eyes. Word by word, I'm not playing games. The breakup is real. Not loving you is real. You said you love me, but I never felt it. I'm done playing house with you and Ben. Who you should be seeking is Ben, not me. I walked past her. "Where are you going?" she called after me. I turned back. "My girlfriend is waiting downstairs to go home." "Your girlfriend?" Clara asked. "Who is it?" "Your sister," I said openly, not turning back. I left her there among chattering classmates. Oh my gosh, what a plot twist. No one saw this coming. Turns out Sarah's the real deal, way more than Clara ever was. Clara's just living in a soap opera, right? Isn't Sarah in some new rich list? Geez, when can I be the main character for a change? The crowd dispersed, leaving Clara standing there alone. Afterward, word got out that I was with Sarah. My parents started acting all buddy-buddy with me again. "Mark, if you just told us you liked Sarah, we wouldn't have pushed you to be with Clara," they said. "We might have been a bit tough on you, but it was all for your own good. You know, from when you were a kid up until now, have we ever skimped on you with material things?" That's right, Mark. You gotta understand how well-intentioned we parents are. What parent doesn't wish for their son to have a great life? I didn't say much. I politely showed them the door. You can't cut off family ties, and you can't repay the debt of being raised, but I'm not gonna follow their every command anymore. I'm not the obedient child they can manipulate as they please. I won't be nice to them just because they're my parents. It's like they latch onto me like leeches. They want me to pave the way for their daughter. No way, not anymore. Later, I heard Clara and Ben got back together, but they argued non-stop, and Ben eventually left to study abroad in frustration. Clara didn't try to stop him. That day, I got a text from Ben. "Mark, out of all the guys, you're the only one who made me feel threatened. Thinking back, I've been pretty childish all these years. I must have been the villain from a novel. You sure can endure a lot. I see you've never loved Clara. I gotta hand it to you. You might be the clearest-headed among us. Now I've hit a wall, and I know when to call it quits. I'm gonna find my own life now. No need to reply to this message. We probably won't see each other again. Hope we each have a wonderful future." Sarah noticed I was staring at her and put down her file. "What's up?" I pulled her into my arms, showing affection. "I really like you." Sarah chuckled softly. I love you. So happy. Sarah got a call from Clara during a meeting. She didn't want to answer, but accidentally did. Just as she was about to hang up, she heard Clara on the other end. Sis, can you look after Mark for me? Hearing this, Sarah's lips curled into a slight smile. She signaled to pause the meeting and stood up, leaving a group of employees puzzled. What just happened? Sarah usually has such a poker face, but she smiled because of a phone call? Sis, will you take care of Mark for me? Sure, she replied. She seemed calm, but her hand tightened on the phone, trembling slightly. Who knew I'd get such a good deal?
Can't shoot through that window. Aim with the tow missile, not the reticle of the heli. That's exactly what Mighty told me. He was like, Wolf said, do not aim with the reticle, aim with the missile. And it's very hard to like break your mind from that because like, you know, when you're shooting gunplay, you pay attention to the reticle no matter what. Like you have to. And then to go to that, it's definitely a learning curve.
We now hold Alpha. We've taken the sector. Hostiles are retreating. Still tracking enemies inside the sector. Wipe them out.